Fuck yeah.
That's what I want. That's my big scream. Do I want to be a Hollywood guy? Fuck no.
Yeah.
But do I want to be a guy who others who are struggling as I did for a long time, can they sit and listen to you and I talk and get something out of it?
Absolutely.
I'm not saying change their lives. I'm not.
No.
I don't profess to be that, that grandiose that I'm going to do that.
Right.
I don't. And I know I probably won't. But if I can have something that they can grab onto and say, fuck, I felt like that too.
Yeah.
My mom told me that happiness was bullshit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just something, a little foothold that maybe it might help them.
Well, and I love that, right? Because that's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been thinking a lot about what my purpose and things like that are, like, right? Like,
Right.
what am I to do with all this information?
Right.
And I mean, I'm not gonna bullshit. Like, the idea of like high ticket coaching, like CEO making millions of fucking dollars is very appealing to me.
Of course.
Like, money sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But bringing it back into like a more realistic viewpoint is, it's like, what do I have?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have experience in lots of drug and alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
lots of anger,
Mm-hmm.
lots of just life experience. I've had multiple jobs. I've been trying to fucking chase down my purpose
Yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I really feel that you and I, with just our dialogue, like you say, that's all I'm hoping to do is help somebody out there be like, holy shit,
Yeah.
that's me.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yep.
Wow, that worked for them. Maybe
Right.
I could try that.
That's exactly it. And all of the stuff that's happened over the years, like in my case 50 plus years, and all of that is stuff that we use for others. It's our ammunition. It's what we use. It's you take all of that so-called adversity or whatever, and you hone it into something you can give to others. And trust me when I tell you that the biggest thing for alcoholics, drug addicts, I don't care what you're addicted to, is loneliness and feeling you're the only one in the world that feels this way. Period.
That ain't no shit.
Period. And that's the end of that sentence.
That's why I immediately have red flags when I notice people secluding or withdrawing or getting
Absolutely.
further and further back.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
because you're right.
Yeah.
And like we had talked about earlier, that shit just seems to fucking compound and compound and compound.
Oh yeah, and add alcohol to it, or drugs, or sex, or
Right.
whatever you want to use as your crutch. Add it to that and see what happens.
Well, and I think it's cool to touch on the point that, like, in my point of view and in my opinion, we have said this before too, and for anybody out there listening, like, that I believe that these books, these 12 steps, can be applied to all walks of life.
Period.
Like, everybody.
Period.
And like I said before, that we're all addicted on some type of level.
Right.
Like,
to something.
or
Yes.
we have like addictive tendencies,
Yes.
or we have our urges and struggles.
Yes.
And it would seem to me that, looking back through all of the steps, that this book, it really is like, you can apply recovery concepts to all walks of life.
Absolutely.
And I really do firmly believe that.
I believe it too, and I've said it before, if every single person were to take that book serious and live by the tenets of that book, there'd be no wars. There'd be nothing.
Right.
There would be nothing. There would be no adversity amongst the Democrats and the Republicans and all that bullshit that's on TV every day. It
bullshit.
wouldn't exist.
No.
Because if you truly live by the tenets of that book, it would be out of your character to do that.
And it would be out of your fucking frame of reference.
Exactly.
You're like, if you were following the things in this book, that shit ain't even going to be on your radar.
Won't.
Because
No.
when we're focusing on the good and what we want and where we're going, we're not fucking, we don't have time
Right.
to scroll the news and see what either
Yeah.
political fucking party is doing.
Right.
And I think that's important to say too, is that this is a very non-political
Absolutely.
thing,
Yeah. No, we're not
right?
going to talk
Like,
politics. No.
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 I mean, like I say, I'm excited.
Me too.
I'm really excited.
Oh, me too. And what I love is a guy sitting on a couch somewhere watching this, going, "These two idiots are right." You know, I mean, honestly, that's what I love, and I want to hear that. And so if somebody wants to leave a message or something, put it. These idiots are right. You know, it's like, look at where they've gone. Look
Yeah.
at what they've been through, and look at where they are now. These idiots are right. You
I
know,
love
maybe that
that.
book has something. You know,
Mhm.
and I am not a book thumper. I'm not one of those guys that says it's the steps or the highway, motherfucker.
No.
I'm not that guy.
Mm-mm.
What I am, though, is a guy that says, I just want you to get sober and stay sober.
Yeah.
Now, how you choose to do that is way your decision.
Yeah.
I'll help you because I know the steps and I've worked the steps. I know how to do it that way because
Right.
it worked for me.
Right.
But it might not work for you. And if it doesn't, I'm willing to take the time to find something that does work for you.
Well, and that's the beauty of this, this combination here is that I didn't do the 12 steps.
Right.
I found my own
That's
way
right.
and my own path. But
Yeah.
like I've told you before,
Yeah.
looking back and doing the steps, I absolutely did the fucking steps.
Yeah.
Inadvertently,
Inadvertently.
some fucking weird way.
Yeah.
However, I did what I did and got sober
Right.
and stayed sober for the last 3.5 years. Looking back is exactly how I did it. It's so fucking fascinating to me.
And I think, and along the lines of what I said earlier about, not or knowing and realizing that you're not alone, okay? I think if you look back on AA number 1, right? Well, if you want to call Bill and Dr. Bob 1 and 2, so be it. So AA number 3, right, is a guy that was hopeless. This fucking guy was hopeless. Was beating up nurses in the hospital and shit. He was gone, right? His wife was just beside herself with this guy. And the whole story, if you read the book, you'll get the story, right?
Sure.
Well, all it took was Dr. Bob and Bill W. to sit and talk to the fucking guy.
That's it.
That's it.
Talk.
And the doctors are all like, he's gone. He's a loser. He's gonna be dead within a month. If he keeps drinking like he is, which could very well have been true. But because of the intervention of those two simple, regular guys, letting that man know, you're not alone. I felt the same way you do. And he felt the same way you do. But guess what? Together, we don't feel that way anymore. And you know how we did it? We just fucking talked. There was no big book then. There was no steps. There was nothing. It was two guys talking to another man who was out of it, supposedly. And they asked the doctors for the worst patient. The worst. Give us the worst. Because in their minds, they wanted to test and see if this is real.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't believe the results they had received.
Sure.
So they were like, fuck, we got to do some research here. We got to do some recon and figure out, is this real?
Yeah.
Is this actually happening?
Or did we just
or do
get
we
lucky?
get
or
lucky?
have a fucking miracle or
exactly. And what do? They get with the worst of the worst in the fucking psych ward or whatever he was in. And he never drank again.
Again.
Never. And lived a full life.
Because they just literally took the time.
You're
to
not
be like,
alone.
Yeah.
What you feel, I have felt.
Mm-hmm.
I know where you're coming from. I'm not just saying it because I read it in a fucking book.
Right.
No, I've been there.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that you are.
Yeah.
And look at me now.
Yeah.
So if you listen to what I have to say and at least give it a shot, what do you got to lose?
Well, and that's the funny thing, right? Is like when we're in those fucking bad spots and we're so down on ourselves and we're down on the world around us and everything literally is shit at that moment.
Yep.
it is hard to be able to look at somebody that's been through all that and is doing well
Yeah.
and realize that that guy was once you.
Right.
You know, just talking to the guys one
Mhm.
night, I was like, yeah, dude, I used to do tons of meth.
Mm-hmm.
And he was blown away.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You used to, like,
Right.
dude, I never would have imagined that in 100 years that you were like a meth guy. Like, I could see the alcohol, but I never would have imagined that you were a meth dude.
And you seize that moment, and that's the thing you use. That's the thing that you run with, and let him know that despite what you may or may not have thought about me prior to us meeting, I was a meth head.
Yeah.
I used a shit ton of fucking meth, and look at me now.
Yep.
You know, and
Exactly.
you run with that shock value,
Yeah.
because that's what it is. And that, when somebody is shocked like that, that opens up the receptors to other things, to more information. Well, if you were a meth head, did you ever use heroin? You know,
Yes.
did you ever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you ever, yeah, you did. So did I.
Well, you've just entered into their realm,
Bingo.
right?
Bingo.
Like, they're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
What's that old saying? You got to meet them where they're at.
Oh yeah.
You got to meet them where they're at.
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Is you have just entered their model of the world.
Exactly.
Is what we use in NLP.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
It's like, there is, and you're speaking their language.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
To get through on a deeper note. Just
Yes.
like you say, you're breaking into something deeper there and letting them know, like, hey dude, you're really not alone.
Yeah.
I do, it might not look like it now,
Right.
and thank God,
Right.
but I have been in far
Yeah.
worse positions.
Exactly. And that, like I said, man, it opens up the receptors in the brain to hear more information, because now you've unlocked what has been locked for years,
Mhm.
maybe, or who knows how long they've been using, but they have locked that down. There's nobody out there that gets where I'm coming from.
Yeah, my
Not one
problems are
motherfucker.
far
Whoa,
more
wait, whoa,
significant.
whoa. What did you just say? The lock goes away.
Yep.
And now they're willing to listen. And it might not even be about meth or anything. It might be about, and while I was doing that, you know, I had a real bad sex problem. I had a real bad drinking problem. I had all that. So did I. What the fuck, man? I was just horny, right? Yeah, horny. Yeah. Right? And then you start to delve into different aspects of an overall addiction. Right?
Oh yeah.
And now you find out that this guy might be he might be a meth head, but he's also a sex addict. He's also a drunk. He's also
Yeah.
you know, as I was, right?
Yep.
That's the thing. And it opens the mind to be able to say, well, fuck, man, that guy Wayne was telling me that he used to do a bunch of meth. That's impossible, but he said he did. Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I thought it was just me.
Yep.
I thought I was the only one who did a bag a night or whatever.
Well, and
Right?
I think that's what the seclusion does.
It does.
Is it like caters to our singled outness
Yes.
that we create,
Yes.
right? Is it's
100%. That's what happens, is you get so into yourself and know that there's no one on this planet
Oh,
that
yeah.
gets where I'm coming from.
Yep.
So fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And like you say, no one will understand.
Nope.
So there's no point in
Nope.
trying to talk to anybody.
Nope.
You know.
I
and
got
it's
nothing
like,
to say. Nobody's going to understand me.
mhm.
Nobody's going to get it. Nobody understands what it's like to do all that fucking blow and all of that shit. Nobody gets it. What? You did that? And that's when you hear the woo, 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 that's when the locks are coming off.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the sound of the locks coming off. And now the brain is going, okay, man, this guy might have some information that may be useful for you.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then it's
I'll
like,
listen to
ooh.
this a little bit
Yeah,
more.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts getting bullshit though, man. I'm out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
He
just a
didn't
little
get
more.
bullshit. It's crazy. I don't know. I can't wait to see him again.
Yeah.
Right? And the next thing you know, man, you got a sponsee. Now you're working with a guy.
Mhm.
You know, and it's like, well, how'd you meet your sponsor? Well, one night he fucking told me all his story, man, and it just blew my fucking mind because he's like me.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Go figure.
Go
We're not
figure.
alone.
I'm not the only one here.
Yeah.
You know?
Or on the planet.
And think of how grandiose we must think we are to think we're the only ones.
Oh, fucking
You know,
A, that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
what the alcohol or drugs or whatever does to you.
yeah.
Is it totally morphs your brain into thinking things that are just not true.
Well, and that's the thing, like when I have a client that has if it's, I can't remember basically if somebody else is paying for it or anything like that, or if they've seen multiple therapists,
Right.
or basically if their problem is more significant than anybody knows,
Right.
then that's when you start chipping away at that.
Mhm.
And basically assigning tasks so that they make realizations of like, oh yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah, that's right.
Like we're all special,
Right.
but you're not that special in the fact that you think you're the only one with all of these issues.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
we're all special in our own way.
That's right. Uniqueness.
But
That's
just
it,
like
yeah.
you say, we get this grandiose fucking, oh, I'm like, I'm so fucked up.
How many times have you heard, you don't know my pain?
Right.
If
yeah.
you had pain like I have pain, you'd be drinking too.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be drugging too.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, you know? And it's like, dude, step off the stool there a minute. You know, let's talk man to man, eye to
Mhm.
eye, right? Let's just talk about this.
Well, it's funny because the eye to eye stuff, we avoid all that shit.
Of course.
I think that's the seclusion and the grandiose ego stuff.
Of course it
it's
is.
Like, oh, I don't want to fucking watch the video of the guy skateboarding with no legs.
Right.
Because my problems are fucking worse.
That's
but I'm
right.
fully bodied and fully able to
Right.
fucking have a nice life.
That's right.
But my problems are so significant that I have to drown myself with alcohol. But yet this guy with no legs is living a very happy life playing fucking basketball every Tuesday night in his wheelchair.
But sadly,
We
the
don't
way-
want to look at that
No,
shit.
we don't. And the way we think and the way that the alcohol, drugs, whatever has made us think, has trained us to think. You know?
Mhm.
And the sad part is that you know, alcohol is one of those things, especially alcohol. Well, drugs too, I suppose, but alcohol, to where you need more and more and more and more. And sometimes the more is only just to feel normal. You know,
Sometimes.
I got to go to work this morning, man. So I better do at least 5 shots.
Mm-hmm.
When in the beginning it was 1 shot. You know?
Right.
Now it's 5 shots. And I'm okay. I'm good. You know, are you good? Are you really good? The answer's no. You know,
No.
I don't care how many times you think you've done a good job, you've not done a good job.
No.
You know, in a inebriated state, nope. You know, and how many times have we seen that thing? Well, yeah, show the drivers. You know, watch the drivers. They've had 1 shot. They're doing okay. 2 shots. A little sloppy. 3 shots. 8 people are dead. Right? I mean, you know what I mean? All the cones are people. 8 of them are dead.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, how many times have we seen that? You know,
Oh.
it's obvious that you do not do your best work when you're drunk. You
Oh,
don't.
no.
You
No.
just don't.
You
You know?
don't.
And the fact is that when people have a notion, and if they sit and think long enough, they're going to see just how fucked up their life is, just how horrible it is, and that'll be enough time for them to crack that lid and start drinking again.
Drink
right?
it all away.
So it's
Erase
it's
it.
up to people like us who have equally been there and done just that. You know, dude, when I was at the end of my drinking career, I wouldn't even look at the mirror. I'd go in the bathroom to pee. I never looked at the mirror because I didn't want to see what I knew I was going to see.
Yeah.
I already knew how bad it was.
Yeah.
I'd go months without showering. I didn't
Wow.
care. I didn't care.
Yeah.
All I wanted was my fucking half-gallon of whiskey, my cat, and my porn on the TV. That's
Dude.
all I wanted.
I remember getting to that stage too where I would just, like, I worked long fucking hours. I drove
Mhm.
truck and did construction and all this other shit. And it's like, I remember fucking drinking all night to the point where you don't want to fucking take a shower.
No.
Because you're like, ah, fuck, I'm just going to
Yeah,
pass
fucking-
out.
I just, yeah.
In my fucking dirty work clothes,
Yes.
fucking dirty and shit.
Yes.
And then you wake up in the morning and you're hung the fuck over and you're fucking 20 minutes late already. So it's
Mhm.
like, I ain't got time for that shit.
Exactly.
And you just start this crazy fucking pattern of just self-neglect like
Exactly.
a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
And
like,
that's the term,
ugh.
self-neglect. And I got to tell you, I look back on it now and, you know, let's be real. Do I take a shower every single day? No, I don't. But I don't go out and bust rocks either.
Mhm.
You know, I don't sweat all day long. I don't do that. Do I do
Right.
it every other day? Yes.
Right.
You know, but I don't do it every day.
Mhm.
But back then, I didn't do it for a month,
Yeah.
2 months. You know, I just didn't give a shit.
So
And
it's
if I
like-
had to go perform or something up at the coffee shop, because I lived right behind it, if I had to do that, there's a lot of stink pretty I can put on. You know, nobody's going to notice, you know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they might not notice that, but they're going to notice the 8 shots I just did to get in the fucking door.
Yeah.
They'll notice that, you know,
Mhm.
because I'm not going to be as tight as I normally would be,
Yeah.
right? Might be a little sloppy.
Well, and that was always my thing too. Like when I quit drinking, in the process of wanting to quit drinking, I started eliminating a lot of things out of my life.
Mhm.
Snowboarding was one of them, and that was one of my fucking greatest joys was snowboarding.
Right.
But just like addicts do, we tend to build our life around the substances.
Sure.
So it's like everything in my life included beer.
Yeah.
And just like you said, not so tight.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, it's so much better to snowboard with a buzz because when you wreck when you're sober, you're a little more tense.
Yeah.
It's like the whole fucking the drunk driver
Yeah.
never gets hurt fucking
Right.
thing.
Right.
Dude, it took me about 7 years to have the courage to go back to that mountain, and knowing it took that long for me to know and have confidence enough that I could withstand booze
Right.
and all the temptation of it
Yeah.
to go to that fucking mountain again.
Yeah.
And best year of my life.
Oh wow.
Best year of snowboarding I'd ever fucking had.
That's great.
And I'm not exaggerating
That's
at
great.
all. Like,
Yeah.
I took the time to learn all these different things. Dude, I had so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
And not one drink.
No wondering.
One guy on the lift, he got on the lift and he cracked a beer open. And I swear to God, I could drink that beer just smelling it.
Yeah.
I could taste that motherfucker.
Mhm, of course.
And I was like, that's
Yep.
good enough for me.
That's good enough for me.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
So I
You
went to
know?
rehab the first time, and I've said this before. You know, I didn't want to quit drinking. I had already done that. Just show me how to live, right? That principle.
Yeah.
So I went to a VA rehab, and when I got home, my first sponsor, turns out he was a musician and he had a band, and he asked me to play in his band. And in all the years I played music, which was a lot, I never did it sober. I had no idea how to play sober, and I didn't know that I could play sober.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just didn't know. You know,
We never gave ourselves the chance.
never did. And I wonder if along the way, if I'd have said, "Hey, I did okay sober. I guess I don't need." Oh, imagine that. An alcoholic saying that? Fuck that. Oh no, I can't play sober.
Imagine
No
that.
fucking way. You know, right?
Yeah.
So I go over to his house. I have no equipment. I got nothing. He's got all the equipment, right? He's got a guitar for me. He's got an amp. He's got all the doodads. Everything was cool. We practiced for about an hour, and he said, "So what do you think? You want to join the band?" You know, and I said, "Damn, this is weird, but yeah, I think I do." And he goes, "Great, we got a gig tomorrow." And I'm like, "Tomorrow?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Are you high?" And then he goes, "No, man." He goes, "You're in," you know. And I said, "But dude, I'm so," and I said that. I went, "I'm sober," you know. And he goes, "Yeah, you're playing your ass off," you know. And I said, wow. And it only dawned on me on that moment that I was able to do it. And I said, "Fuck yes, I'll play tomorrow. Let's do it," you know. And I've been doing it ever since.
How
Yeah,
fucking cool
but
is
that was a moment, Wayne. That was one of those epiphany moments.
Yeah.
Where I was like, but I'm, you know, and I was like, God damn, I am sober. Holy fuck, I can actually do this, you know. And again, you know. And every time I played, it got better and better. And it was like, who knew? You know, all the years I could have been really good. Instead, I was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realize that until that moment right there.
Well, and you're right, and that's what's funny. Like you say, we really good,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you're good,
Yeah.
but you can be really fucking
That's
good.
right.
And it's like that's what it was when I went snowboarding.
I bet.
I was.
That's
fucking
why I was
good
equating
drunk.
it to that, because I
Right.
could sure see the same
Yeah.
connection. Yeah.
I was good drunk.
Sure.
I was fucking ballsy.
Yeah,
drunk,
you were.
which made me a little better.
And
because
dangerous.
the fear wasn't there.
Right, no fear. Yeah.
But with a clear mind and a want and all of that other stuff,
Yep.
I learned how to ride switch.
Mm-hmm.
So before, most snowboarders will know this, that a lot of people don't take the time to learn how to ride switch because it's
What does
hard.
that mean?
You ride, when you're riding a skateboard or a
Yeah.
surfboard, you're one way or the other.
Oh, okay.
You want to learn both ways.
Oh.
And a lot of people will just learn the one way and they'll learn all their tricks to do things one way.
Okay.
Well, you really limit yourself because you can only do certain tricks because you land. If you can't land the other way,
The other way,
then you're fucked.
then
So
you're
you
fucked.
limit all of your trick arsenal, right?
That makes sense.
So I took the time to be like, you know what, I taught too, and so I just started applying all my teaching to me learning the other way.
The other way.
And dude, it came like that, and it opened up a whole new world of tricks for me.
Right.
You know, I could ride this way and spin a certain way and do a certain trick this way or this way, but like you say, I was better. And I think it's important to say that one of the biggest epiphanies I ever had is that in that moment, you gave yourself the chance.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first quit drinking and I made it about a month. And that was my first attempt. I made it about a month and I slept so fucking good, dude. I never slept so good and I never felt better. And I remember saying to myself, well, of course
Yeah.
you don't fucking know what this is like.
Yeah.
And of course you never gave yourself the chance.
That's right.
You never fucking just said, well, maybe try it for a
Yeah.
month.
Right. See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know.
I love the line I love is, what do you got to lose?
Right.
That says it all.
Yep.
What do you got to lose? Well, the hungover mornings, the inability to do the switch on my fucking skateboard or my snowboard.
Yeah.
All of these things. That's what I got to lose. You
Yep.
know, so maybe, just maybe, I should try it.
Yeah.
Let's see what oh fuck, this isn't so bad. You know? And it's just, I think, well, I wanted to ask you, when you quit drinking, how hard was it? And how did you quit drinking? You just stopped?
I did. I just stopped one day. Like, it took several times of
Mm-hmm.
attempting, right?
I call that wishing and hoping.
Yeah. I was wishing and hoping a lot.
Yep.
And then I had an incident with a gun.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that'll do it.
And we'll get into this
Yeah.
all later.
Oh, of course, yeah.
With something that I really want to talk about as far as addicts go,
Mhm.
called our unconscious death urge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a real
Got
fucking
my
thing.
interest. I want to hear about that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I realized that I was somewhat unconsciously trying to remove myself from this world
Mhm.
because I wasn't doing what I was meant to do here.
Right.
I kept fucking off my life and I wasn't doing anything. And I really do believe that if you're not doing those things, we do unconsciously figure out a way to exit the world.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that's very valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was on a rant one night. Fucking people were out to get me, you know, all that
Oh,
shit. And I went home and started playing with my guns, and I shot one round through my window,
Mm.
through my father-in-law's house, and he wasn't home. And I wasn't supposed to be drinking anyways. And we'll get into all this a
Yeah.
little later,
Oh, of course,
into
yeah.
like more
Yeah.
depth of the whole fucking thing, because it's a pretty big thing.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the next morning, I was like, I looked at the holes in the wall. My daughter was in the room next door. There's a fucking house with like 15 kids, foster home next door. Like, and I was just like, if you don't stop, you are going to fucking die.
Or someone's gonna die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was right then and there when I was just like, done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I just hit it hard and never fucking looked back.
Well, I used to hear people say, oh, it was lifted from me. It was a divine intervention, and all of a sudden I just didn't have the urge to drink anymore. And I would cry bullshit every fucking time.
Yeah.
Every time. That's horse shit. That never happens. It's impossible that can happen. It happened to me,
Yeah.
and
I believe that was divine intervention with me.
yeah, because I lost the urge to drink.
Yeah.
And I drank heavy from the time I'm 6 till I was 56. So I drank for 50 years. And at the end of my drinking career, it was a half gallon of whiskey a day. Every fucking day.
Yeah.
Right? And there I was. I woke up May 2nd, 2013, and I had no desire to drink. It was gone.
Yep.
And I went, wait a minute, that's weird. What's going on here? What happened? Did I do some weird drug last night or something? I mean, I'm trying to think of what the hell I did the night before.
Yeah.
Because it was literally gone.
Yeah.
And I went, whoa. So I called my therapist and I said, I think I'm done. He thought I meant done. And I go, no, I think I quit drinking. And he said, what? And he couldn't believe it. And he said, let me get a hold of the VA, blah, blah, blah. One thing led to another. I was in rehab the next day.
Yeah.
But the point is, it was actually lifted from me. The compulsion to drink was gone. And I, to this day, I no longer feel it's horseshit. I'm very grateful to God for relieving that compulsion to drink.
Yep.
Because I would be dead by now. There's no doubt in my mind I'd
Yep.
be dead by now.
Well, and like I say, I do believe that, I guess that's my weird way of saying divine intervention, is it's like that, knowing that unconscious death urge is a thing really helped me to put that into frame of dude, you're getting too close to, I've already survived 2 rollovers in one fucking night.
Mm-hmm.
I've ran a car off the road and got a DUI right before a fucking bridge on a dam, which I was probably headed for off of. I've had way too many of these types of things happen to me, and I'm still here, and I'm like, dude, you have got to get your shit together, or you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be here anymore.
Yeah.
DUIs, prison. I was aiming for prison. I ran the guy over. Like I say, we'll get into all this.
Yeah.
More and more.
It's insane the things that we do that we think are okay.
Oh,
And that's a bold statement, but it's true. When you're in the middle of your addiction or your alcoholism or whatever you've got, everything that you do is okay. In your mind, everything is okay. I ran that guy over. Yeah, well, he was in the wrong place.
Right.
You know what I mean? I almost went off the bridge. Yeah, but you didn't.
dude, in a weird fucking way, I swear to God, I'm weird about manifestation stuff. That fucking dude, blipped into fucking existence.
Yeah.
Just for me to run his ass over.
Yeah.
So I could fucking go to jail and all of this shit could happen, right?
Right.
It's so crazy the way things work.
It is.
And I'm excited to talk more about those types of experiences in getting sober and finding our higher power.
Yep.
And all of that type of thing.
Because that's a big one, man, is finding a higher power. Because a lot of guys come into this thing with an absolute, hatred. Hatred's a strong word, but definitely don't like religion, any kind of talk of God, any kind of spirituality, any of that stuff.
Yep.
Because they're broken.
Yep.
People are broken. This isn't Well Persons Anonymous.
Well,
people are hurting and broke when they get here.
Well, and just in my trip to California, just being around a whole different environment, I was visiting family and they're not into the higher power stuff, right? Like you just kind of described. And they're not struggling with addiction or anything like that, I wouldn't say. But I couldn't help but notice there were so many other aspects of their life that were
missing?
maybe damaged,
yeah.
you could say, or maybe missing, that I equated to the absence of acknowledging something greater, being out there and present, right? Whatever it is.
It is, yeah.
But being closed off to that concept, I have noticed, really seems in all forms of life, you can sense and feel and see that those people don't seem to have like a genuine quality happiness
Right.
about them.
Right.
Where you can see in other people that do have a more spiritual or even religion or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I do see more glimpses of genuine, what I would believe are genuine happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I do. I agree with that. And I think that, you know, to me, one of the greatest things that happened to me is I worked with a guy and he had that, again, issue with a higher power thing. He didn't understand what that even meant. He knew what it meant, you know, intellectually he knew what it meant.
Yeah.
But he couldn't get his head wrapped around it. He just couldn't do it. And one day he was driving down to Phoenix and he went through the Salt River Canyon. And as he was going through the canyon, he called me to tell me that he now knows what a higher power is. And I said, I go, what do you mean? And he said, dude, I'm looking around here, I'm seeing all of this, you know, this beauty here and all of that. There's no way man made that. There is no way that a single man or even a group of men made this. That this is my higher power. And I said, well, there you go. You know, and it was the epiphanies come if you allow them.
Yeah.
And he allowed it.
And dude, I would love to hear more about him.
Mm-hmm.
And have you talked to him lately?
No.
Since then?
So, no, since then, yes, but not lately, no.
I would love to hear a little bit more about what that opening has done for him now.
I think that would be
Because it's
great.
been a couple months, right?
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, well.
And so
Yeah.
I just would love to hear more about, since I've opened up to a higher power, what synchronicities and what coincidences am I
Right.
seeing?
What am I seeing? What am I feeling?
more of
Yeah.
in my life?
I agree, and I would love to do that too. And maybe we can get him to come on here with us. You
Oh, I
know?
bet.
I know we would.
Yeah.
I know we would. I haven't spoken to him in a while, which, you know, is not part of my deal. It's like I always tell these guys, call me once a day. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, it's been more than once a day, and he's not around, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the thing too. I mean, nothing is etched in stone. You know, and when I tell these guys, you know, at least text me, do something. You know, I just want them, again. It goes into the category of you're not alone.
Yeah.
I'm out here too, you know, and I may or may not be having a good day. Maybe
I-
your text to me saying, "Hey, bro, I'm alive and well. Thanks, you know, thanks for giving me some info." Whatever it is, you know, that's enough for me to say, "Hey, fuck right on, man. He's doing good."
Dude, and not on that note, I've had my sponsees reach out to me,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes my day.
Yes.
Like, to be like, oh, like maybe I'm down on myself and I
Yeah.
feel like shit, or
Yeah.
I'm not feeling like I'm being good enough in
Yeah.
the world or
I ain't
whatever.
feeling the love today.
And it's like you get something like that come in and you're like, wow, you know what, I really am doing good things. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Somebody out there, you know,
Yes.
I am helping people.
Yes. I've
And
become
so it's,
part
it
of
works
something.
both ways.
Of course it does.
It's not
Yeah.
just for them.
No, it's for both of us.
Yeah.
You know, because
Like
then,
you said, I'm out here too, man. I'm in the
Yes.
shit too.
I am too. I'm in the trenches too.
Right.
You know, and it's good to know I got a comrade next to me.
Right.
You know, and thank you for reaching out. You know, and when I say that to guys, I say thanks a lot for reaching out, dude. It means a lot to me. I mean that.
Yeah.
You know, because like you just said, we're together. There's a moment that we both just had, and now it's like he knows that he's not alone. I know that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And that guy took a minute to reach out to me. That's cool.
Sometimes that'll get you through your fucking day.
You're damn right it will. It
Right.
has.
Yeah.
I mean, not sometimes. It has. You know, for
Absolutely.
me, like I might be in the middle of some shit, you know, and all of a sudden my phone goes off and it's like, oh. And I look at it. What shit was I going through?
Yeah.
I mean, not all the time, but most times. It's like, well, that wasn't too bad. This guy reached, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, move
Yeah.
on.
We're doing good things.
Yeah.
Fucking to hell with all the
Mhm.
negative stuff.
Exactly, and to me that means everything, dude. It's just the point of like this and everything is just I can't say it enough. I don't want people to think they're alone. They're not. You know, there are others out there equally or worse or better, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're out there. There are guys that have had very similar incidences in their lives to you, and maybe what they did will help you. It might not.
Maybe.
You know, and if it doesn't, but give it a shot.
Yeah.
What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
You know, the shit show that's your life right now is one thing you got to lose.
Well, the best thing is it's like, it doesn't cost any money.
No.
So, like, literally, what do you have to lose?
Exactly. Nothing.
A fucking ding on
Yeah.
your pride?
That's right.
Oh, heaven forbid that
And
the fucking addict has
and-
a little bit of pride fucking come
And
down.
as we all know in this recovery world, man, ego is the one thing that'll get you out of here quicker than
Every
anything.
time.
Every single time.
Every time.
You know, and we have guys that come here for groups that are so egocentric that it's like you can't get through to them. You
Oh,
can't.
no.
And when you know that though, if you've done this long enough, or if you're an empathic person or whatever, you can sense that that guy is shut down, shut off. He doesn't want to hear shit.
Yeah.
You know. Then all of a sudden, how weird! You find out he's here because of probation. He's not even here because he wants to be.
Mhm.
Probation sent him here. Oh well, that kind of fits. You know, how soon you gonna drink when you get out of here? The day I get out of here.
Yeah.
And I love that. I'll ask him straight up.
Yeah.
When are you gonna drink again? As soon as I leave here. Oh, okay, cool. At least you
At least
know.
you're being honest.
At least you're being honest. Thank you for
Yeah.
your honesty.
Yeah.
I do that. I did it last time we had a group.
Good.
Yes, because
And
it's
there's no
ridiculous.
judgment.
No,
But
none
it's like-
whatsoever.
But if they're gonna be here and do it, it's like, my attitude toward that character is it's like, well, let's fucking test it a little bit. Let's give you some shit.
Yeah.
Like, do you really fucking like your drinking?
Yeah,
Do you like
exactly.
the fact that you fucking got in trouble from your drinking and you're on probation and now you
Yeah.
have to fucking be here with us?
Exactly. And here's
Is that how cool drinking is for you?
That's exactly right. And here's the best
Like-
question, man. You say, what is the best part of your drinking? That's what you ask them that. And this is the
I've
answer
never
you're going
thought
to get.
of that.
Yeah,
But that's a great fucking question.
it's a great opening line. Guys, how y'all doing? Great, great. What's the best part of your drinking?
Yeah.
Just ask them that, and you'll see this. You know, because nobody has an answer. You know, I mean, nobody knows.
I never thought of that, but that's a fucking great
Yeah,
question.
it's a
That's
great question.
mind melter, man.
Yes, because I got to sit here and tell you, I don't have an answer for it. I didn't have a best part of my drinking. The best part of my drinking, first shot of the day. I guess. I don't know. Because it got me going again.
I'm trying
And at
to
least
think
I
of
knew my
mine.
heart was pumping, you
Yeah.
know, and I was alive.
I'm trying to think of mine, and it's like
I challenge you to have an answer.
there isn't one.
There isn't one.
I hated when I would get that. It seemed like tequila did it to me fucking rapidly, but I guess they call it like Asian flush or something, where you get all
all flushed
there's
out?
some kind of allergic reaction with the alcohol
Yeah.
or whatever fucking combination of
Mm-hmm.
tequila.
A little bit of
hops
rum.
or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
you did, and you get red.
Red in the face, yeah.
But when you get that feeling in your fucking chest right here, like I remember specifically thinking about when the guy would show up.
Mm-hmm. The guy.
The guy, that fucking monkey on your back.
Mhm.
Like you could go to the bar and sit there and be cool and have a couple of drinks, but I got really good at noticing when that
When he's
fucking
coming.
guy showed up.
Yeah.
And I remember, like,
Were you an asshole?
not really, but I could get that way very fast.
Very fast,
Like,
yeah.
it only took a
Yeah.
fucking little thing
Split second.
to, like,
Yep.
rampage.
0 to
me
asshole
into
in 2 seconds.
Oh,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's when I first started drinking it. It's just like all drugs and
Yeah.
stuff. It's all for fun. And,
Oh, sure.
You know, but the more it becomes a problem, the more the anger starts to really fucking come out.
And you
it's
know-
like, I remember my father-in-law specifically telling me, like, those people at the bar are not your friend.
That's right.
Like, they are not your
No.
fucking friends.
No,
Like,
they're not.
they
Because
just
they're equally mired in their animosity to the world and
well,
themselves.
misery loves company,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. You know, and that's why there are bars. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Now there are normies that can go into a bar, have a couple of drinks, and even leave half of one and walk out.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never met one, but I've heard they're out there because that wouldn't be me.
No.
You know, I wouldn't leave until they ran out of booze. You
Oh
know?
yeah, or until you had to carry me out.
Till I was asked to leave.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
That's when I'd leave.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it. But I do know there are folks that can do that. That can actually have a couple drinks and be okay with it. God bless them. You know, I wish I was that guy. Sometimes.
Did you ever have any moments toward the end, think with me, but I remember having a couple of these, well, fuck, I guess you would say divine interventions, like literally divine intervention. I was out here at the ranch house one day. Me and my wife were fighting. I was being a real puke and all this shit, and I was over there drinking, and I was day drinking, right? Like, I didn't give a fuck. And everyone at the bar, they love that, right?
Yeah,
you're their best friend.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So you
Yes.
feel accepted, and it makes all of that okay, but it's not. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember I was outside, and I got to a point where smoking a cigarette with the right buzz would just fuck me up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting on the bench, and I remember like everything in the world disappeared. Like everything just went like black.
Mhm.
And there was people there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was smoking, and I was like swept away to some place. I can't put any images on it, but like I like disappeared.
Wow.
And all I remember is when I came back, I just looked at my beer and my cigarette, and I was just like,
Oh. Wow.
like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, this is not right. Like,
Yeah.
you're fucked up. Like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And I still have a really hard time with that. Like,
Wow.
because it happened to me more than once.
Oh.
It happened to me like at least 2 times that I can remember and think
Wow.
of, where I just had this literally out of body experience of like almost like I was taken to this place and they're just like, you need to stop.
Yeah.
And then I would come back and I just am like, oh my God, like you say, like epiphany,
Yeah.
like just super download of like, whoa, like almost like fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like, this is scary to me now.
Right.
Like, what happened to me just now, I don't like this.
Right.
And this is all part of it.
Right.
So like, I gotta be done.
And how soon was it before you started again?
Well, that, like, it,
Like the time
that
at the
might,
ranch.
that time, it was like another week or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And here's the better question: what were you thinking when you decided to start again?
well, that's the thing, right? Is it's like, I obviously wasn't thinking. I just didn't give a fuck. I was so mad at the world and myself and everything
And
else.
my wife
I was
and that guy and this guy.
My
Oh, yeah.
job.
Yeah,
my
job
fucking-
sucks.
all
My boss is a dick.
All
Yeah.
my poor meanness.
Oh yeah, the poor me.
And you don't think.
No.
And you get all the emotions taken over, and you're just like, I don't like this. I know how to fix it.
Glug, 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 glug.
Right.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
And
yeah.
and you do.
Yeah.
And I tell a lot of people this, like one of my sponsees, I'm like, dude, that relapse was really fucking good for you.
Mhm.
You know who I'm talking
I do.
about.
And it was good.
And
for
it
him.
was fucking
Yes.
awesome for him.
Amazing for him.
I told him, dude, I can't tell you how many times I would have a pretty good streak, and then I would get a little fucking dumb and be like, oh, well, I better test the water again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would,
Yeah.
and immediately regret.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot, you're gonna wake up with a sore back, or you're not gonna wake up, you're not going to sleep now, motherfucker.
That's right.
And you're gonna have a sore back, and you're gonna be up for 2 more days, and
Yeah.
you're gonna be fucking miserable.
Yep.
And you're talking 30 minutes after the hit.
Yeah.
And it's like, oops.
Oops. Yeah.
And I'm like, once you start having those big gaps, then you like that feeling more and
Yeah.
more and more.
Yeah.
And it seems like when you use in between, if you're kind of approaching it, I would say properly, and you really do want to get a handle on it, then you do. All that comes back just like he described. Fuck, man, I was doing so good. I got to start over again, motherfucker. And like all that comes in, and you're like, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
So the next time that opportunity comes, just like he said, I'm going to remember all of this and be like, fuck, dude,
That's why
I
it was
really
so
don't
good
want
for
to
him.
start over again.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to go through this again.
Mhm.
You know, and my life is so much better
Well,
when
it's
I don't.
humiliating.
Yeah, of course it is.
When everybody
Yes.
in the program knows what you're doing
Yes.
and shit, and you're
Yeah.
all supposed to kind of be in it together,
Exactly.
you let a bunch of people down.
Yeah, that's
Let's
right.
be real.
That's right. You do. Whether
Like,
you want to
they
or
might
not,
not
or whether you
fucking-
accept it and acknowledge it or not.
Well,
you
and
have.
they might not accept or
Right,
acknowledge it,
right.
but I'll fucking tell you what,
Yeah.
you let someone down,
You
bro.
bet you did. Least of all yourself.
Fuck yeah.
You know. Well, I got to tell you, it was Christmas Eve, 2012. My girlfriend threw me out of the house, put everything I owned in my car. It was a '94 Suburban, and she said, "That's it. You're done." And literally everything I owned was in my car, and off I go. So where I go is down to the fucking river, in the middle of nowhere, right next to the river, and a friend of mine was living there.
It's too bad you didn't have a van.
Oh, I had a Suburban. It was close. Yeah, if I had a van, I could have lived in it.
For the van down
Yeah,
by the
down
river.
by the
too,
river.
you know?
So I get down there, and this again is Christmas Eve. So we commence the drinking, and we're having a great time. The next day is Christmas Day. I wake up in the morning, and I said, "Where's the whiskey?" You know, and we had a shit ton of beer, but no whiskey. And I said, "Well, fuck that. I'm going to town," because I knew the little store was going to be open on Christmas. And I said, "I'm going to go to town."
Just for guys like you.
Just for guys like me, you know. So off I go, and my friend Lonnie was telling me, "Steve, don't go, man. You're not in the best of shape to be driving." I go, "Fuck that, I should have known." Off I go. I had about another mile to go to get to the top of this dirt road. It was a long ass dirt road, and for some reason I just passed out, and I drove off the side of the road, and my car rolled down 350 feet.
Oh, fuck.
I got thrown out at 200 feet somehow. Now, every time, drunk
Was this
or
Big
otherwise.
Steve?
No.
This was Little Steve.
This was Little Steve. So this was in 2012, and I no matter what, I always put my seatbelt on. So I had my seatbelt on, and it was raining, so I had the window up. So the window's up, seatbelt's on, off I go, over the edge I go. Somehow I broke the seatbelt, I guess, and I came out of the car, and now I wake up to rain hit me in the face, and I look up and I look down, and all my clothes, everything that I owned, was scattered down the side of this hill. And some of it was on hangers, and it had been hung in the trees.
Oh,
It looked
fuck.
like a fucking Okie camp down there. It was insane. And I looked down, and there's my guitar down there. There's another piece of equipment over there, but I don't see the car. And what had happened is it rolled this way, and then it rolled this way. And to this day, it's right on the bank of the river. It's right
Oh,
on the
shit.
edge of the river.
It's still there.
It's still there. And it's about maybe 3 feet tall, maybe 2.5 feet tall. It's squashed, and the paramedics said that I probably rolled with it about 4 times and then got thrown out. So there I am on the side of a hill about this steep, and I've got 8 broken ribs, my lung collapsed, and I sprained my knee.
Oh, fuck.
Right? But for all intents and purposes, I walked away from that thing, right? Essentially. And there I am laying on the hill, and my first thought is, well, you got to yell for help, So I yell with 8 broken ribs. That didn't go well.
Oh, God.
And somebody
punctured lung?
and a punctured
Fuck.
lung. Somebody had seen me go over,
Oh.
and they were up on top of the hill. And they said, "We got you, bud. We got him coming out," or whatever. So then I knew I'm okay. And I just laid there. And it took about an hour for them to find me and come down the hill and find me. In fact, they went down further thinking that I was with the car, but I wasn't. They had to come back up to get me. So then they put me in a Stokes, and they pulled me up a foot at a time, 200 feet to the top.
Jesus.
8 broken ribs and a collapsed lung, So they get me up there, they put me in the ambulance, they take me to the hospital. And the doctor comes in and he said, "Okay, we did x-rays, you got 8 broken ribs, and la la la," and he goes, "But you have a collapsed lung, a partially collapsed lung. So we're going to have to put a chest tube in.
Oh, shit.
And I said, you know, I'm drunk as fuck,
Yeah.
you know. And literally, it's about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning,
Ooh.
right? Yeah. So anyhow, the doctor says, okay, Steve, this is going to pin, and he goes, it's going to fucking hurt. And I said, and that's what he said.
He
And
tried
I go,
to beat around the bush
yes.
at first,
And he goes,
huh?
fuck that. And I go, just do it. You know, I never felt it. And he stuck the tube in, and my lung, you know, came up and like it's supposed to or whatever. And they shipped me down to Modesto to the trauma center, and down I went. I was there for 2 days. I wouldn't do any of the things they asked me to do, the breathing techniques or whatever, because the fucking ribs hurt, you know?
Yeah.
So they threw me out of the hospital.
Oh, shit.
I called my buddy. He came and got me, put me in a motel, and I stayed there for a month. And then I finally got a little apartment, and that's where I ended up staying. But 3 weeks, I quit drinking. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that 3rd week, the pain was gone. I had no rib pain. I had nothing. It was like it never happened.
Ah, yeah.
And in my fucking twisted head, it was like, that was all a dream. It never happened.
Yeah.
So let's have another shot, or 2 or 12. You know, and then that's when my drinking took the fuck off.
Well, you're right. Now that you mention it, that's exactly how it goes, right? Is it's like once all of the fucking trauma and bullshit subside from the most
drinking.
recent incident.
That's right.
Then we go create another one.
Exactly. We
Right?
go create another one.
We go create
Yeah,
another
and
one.
that one, as I said, that happened on Christmas Day of 2012, and then I went 3 weeks, so call it into November or January, right? So from January-ish, like the end of January, to May 2nd was parties on, Garth, you know, and it was bad. And then finally I woke up that morning and had no desire. And it was
Wow.
like, I think, honest to God, I think God was telling me, look, douchebag, I put you in a wreck, that didn't help. I did this, that didn't help. You
Yeah,
know?
I
like
showed
that old
you-
joke, here come the boats. You know, you wouldn't take the boat, you know. And he said, you're done. And he took it away.
Yeah.
And I haven't had it since. And that was in 2013.
The hard thing about these types of stories is
They're
being
funny.
new.
They're funny.
Well,
Right?
I remember, and I talked to the guys once in group about that. Is like, look, guys, I know what it's like to be where you're at and to listen to motherfuckers like me and Ryan and Steve
Mhm.
fucking tell you all of our divine interventions and our fucking epiphanies and our higher powers and all this shit, and you're over there like, well, that's fucking great for you, but what the fuck about me?
Right.
Like, when is that gonna happen to me? How do I get that?
Right. You may not.
It.
The simple fact is you may not.
You're right.
You may not.
And that
you might have
fucking
to
sucks
go
to
a different
say.
route. But
Yeah.
what I want for you is what I've got.
Yeah.
Now, how you choose to get there and how you are afforded to get there is strictly amongst
Right.
that discussion, right? But it might not be what I had. You might not have divine intervention. You might not have the compulsion relief.
Right.
You might not. But it doesn't mean you can't.
Right.
What it means is you have to try harder.
Well, and not only that, I do believe, I guess what I would say with all of that is like, do the work, take the steps, take the actions, and you will have that happen,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
Like it will manifest.
Yeah.
That's why we have to take the action no matter what. Like
That's
you
right.
say, like you'll find a way no matter what.
That's right.
And through the process and action of effortless, with full effort, attempting to find that way,
Right.
something will fucking break loose
Yeah.
for you.
Something will.
But
And
if
also,
you're not doing anything,
yeah, well,
you're not allowing shit to happen.
exactly. And when you don't put in shit, you're gonna get shit.
Exactly.
That's it. And the other thing is too that when you utilize that, when you do it in such a way that maybe you don't have the compulsion removed, but you find another way to get around that and you do it, and then the compulsion gets removed. But it takes you a while. That's your journey that you can be proud of.
Yes.
And that you can say to another sponsee,
Bingo.
this is what I did.
Yeah.
You know, now I had a sponsor, his name is Steve. He told me that this is what he did. That didn't work for me, but this did.
Yeah.
This is what I did. Now, suddenly, whoa, you've got your own fucking story.
Exactly.
You know, and now you're using it to help somebody else. Well, isn't that fucking amazing?
Yes.
Isn't that wild? You know?
It is amazing.
Yes.
Right?
That's why two simple men sitting there talking to that hopeless fucking drunk got him never to drink again.
Yeah.
That's why. Because it's a simple program. It's just hard as fuck. But it's a simple program.
I love that saying that it's simple, it just ain't easy.
That's right.
Like,
Absolutely.
It really is simple.
It is simple.
A lot of this stuff is very
actually, if
simple.
you look at it and you look at the rudimentary aspects of the 12-step program and just the AA program in general, forget 12 steps, but the AA program in general, it's very simple. You know, it boils down to one thing. You're not alone.
Yep.
This is what I did. Maybe it'll help you. If not, let's find something that does.
Yeah.
That's it.
And like you say, you're not alone.
Mm-mm.
So just in the fact of knowing that you're not alone, that yeah, maybe all this isn't working for you,
Yeah.
but you're not alone
Right.
in finding what does.
That's exactly right. And I'm here to help you. I will
Right.
get you something else. I happen to believe in the steps, but some don't.
Yeah.
And for some, it just doesn't work. It just, whatever. If it's in the head, if it's what, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care why it doesn't work for you. What I care about is finding you something that does work.
Well, and that's just it, right? Let's not focus on why it doesn't
No.
work for you, because then it will continue to not work.
Exactly.
Let's focus on what does work.
What does
do
work.
you like?
That's right. What do you think is going to help you?
Yeah.
You know, and take some ideas from the guy, you know, and then you take those ideas and you go, okay, well, I can see that. Yeah, we could try that, you know, or, dude, are you out of your mind? That ain't going to work,
Well,
you know.
It's like I tell my son when we were working together, we were doing granite, and this little shit would always figure out he's a lot like me in that way, and he wants to do shit his way.
Yeah, of course.
But when you're new on the scene, it's like, look, bro,
Yeah,
you don't have a way
right,
and you don't have the knowledge.
right.
So do me a favor, learn my way and do what I teach you. And with that knowledge, you will hone and create your own way.
That's right.
But don't fucking create your own way without knowing the way, a way first.
Right.
And funny enough, that's exactly what the fuck I've done with AA and everything. Only to go back and say, oh wow, that's what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what he would say too.
Yeah.
You know, he would try his way and then it would turn out whatever. And then I'm like, oh, well, that's because you did this, this, and this wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, or you didn't do these steps in this order.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm trying to help you understand that if you
exactly.
just listen to me and learn a little bit of my ways, then you can take that and build off of that.
That's true. The other story is, the other thing that people say a lot too is, everyone has a story. Okay, everyone does. We all have different ways that got us into this room. Well, all of us do, you know. But we all have our own stories. Now, getting back to what you were saying with your son, he comes in with no story. He doesn't know how to do the concrete. He
Right.
has no fucking knowledge whatsoever. So what that kid has to do is what you said. Open your mind, listen to me, open your eyes, open your ears, and, you know, sit down, like they say in the old timer meetings, sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Now, observe what I'm doing. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Where it differs in recovery sometimes is that everyone has a story. They come to you with the knowledge of how to work with concrete, right?
Mhm.
They come to you with that.
That's true.
It is true. So now you got a guy, right, who thinks he knows everything. He's done everything there is to do. This is my third rehab and everything. All right, well, the first question is, what happened to the first two? Why did they not work? What
Right.
did they do that did not sit well with you?
Yeah.
Because obviously it was something. You know, where did it go awry?
Well, and that's where the term, my son, he's 24.
Mm-hmm.
This kid is fucking smart and I love him to death. And he teaches me quite a bit, but he told me that and I love this term because it applies to what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of employers are like this. If you're ripe, you're rotten.
Mm-hmm.
If you're green,
Yeah.
you're still growing.
You're still growing.
Meaning
Yeah, I got you.
that when you're
That is
fucking-
exactly what I just said.
when you
Yeah.
get the concrete guy that's fucking been around the world and done
Yeah.
it all the fucking every way
Yep.
his way, and
Yep.
you bring them into your program, but
Yep.
you have a specific way that works for you and your business and everything else, it's extremely fucking hard to get that person that knows fucking everything to fucking adapt to what you want them to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And so a lot of employers are like, yeah, that's the overqualification shit.
Exactly.
Oh, you're too overqualified.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the nice way of saying you probably know too much,
Mhm.
and we don't want to deal with your
Yeah.
bullshit.
We don't want you telling us how to do our
Yeah, we don't want your infinite knowledge.
That's right,
We
that's
we
right.
want people that will fucking say yes, sir.
That's right. Yeah, that's so true. And that's a really good way to look at it. You
Yeah.
know? Well, yeah. Yeah.
And so I love that saying. If you're ripe, you're rotten.
Yeah.
Because, yeah,
That
there's
makes sense.
nowhere to go after ripening.
No, there isn't. You're ripe, you're ripe. That's it. You're done.
Yeah,
And
you're
a
done.
lot of guys, you know, especially these guys that come in and say, you know, I actually heard a guy say one time, well, this is my 16th rehab.
You're
And
like,
I'm like, whoa, 16? That's pretty fucking stupid.
right.
You know, I mean, trust me, I know there are some.
And
some
let me
really-
guess, he was slightly braggadocious.
Slightly. And the thing is, you know, it's like you look at him and you say, okay, well, I would ask you what happened, you know, in rehab that didn't work for you, but 16 times, bro? What is it about you that didn't work?
Right.
What the fuck, dude? I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of rehabs out there that are shit, right? Absolute horse shit.
But
And I
16
get
in a
that, but
row?
16?
In a row?
The odds are against you.
Yeah.
Sorry, but what did you not do?
I
What
think-
did you not bring to the table when it came time to discuss your fucking future? Where did it go wrong?
I think we're missing out on the common denominator
Yeah.
here.
You.
Right.
Yeah.
And we know a guy like that.
Yes, we do.
And
Yes, we do.
I don't know where things are sitting because I
I
was
don't
gone
either.
last week.
Yeah,
but
I don't either. I don't know
Did
either.
you guys do group last week?
No, we didn't.
Oh shit.
No, we were out
Oh,
of
they
town.
were. You were out of town.
We were out of town, and the week before,
They were fucking
they were
hiking
at
the canyon.
Grand Canyon. Yeah, yeah. So we haven't had a group in 2 weeks.
So tonight,
Tonight, yeah.
are we gonna group
Yeah.
tonight?
Oh yeah. And
Oh,
in fact,
good.
Ryan already sent me a tag saying, "Hey, we're coming tonight."
Cool.
So yeah, if you're coming, right?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
I get off at 5. So.
Oh, perfect. Just head straight over.
Yeah. Well, dude,
I think that's it for our first one. And
we did fucking awesome.
don't you think? What do you
I
think?
know. I know we did awesome.
I know we did too. You
Like,
said some good shit.
that was
Yeah.
a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, blacked into an hour. Is it hour and
Yeah.
11 minutes? Yeah.
111?
Is that what it says?
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, man.
Dude.
I know, right? And this is just
all
us
we
bullshit.
gotta do is show up.
That's it.
And
That's
we
it.
fucking introduce a little bit of structure.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Mm-hmm.
all we have to do is like we talked last time.
Yeah.
And I brought that paper, right? So now I'm thinking, well, let's close it out for
Yeah.
everybody. Love you guys.
Love you
Thanks
guys.
for
See ya.
tuning in.
See ya.